Well, there's no doubt that coronavirus has hit a lot of industries hard, and in particular, the arts are struggling. A couple of weeks ago, it was announced that pop culture convention Supanova was cancelling its stops in Brisbane, Adelaide, and Perth, scheduled for November. Founder and event director Daniel Zachariou joins us to fill us in on what this means for the future of the convention and the sector. Daniel, welcome to the Ben, Rob and Robbo Show.
Thanks, gentlemen.
And your dog also says hello. Hey, this is This is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, conventions in the country each year, with 160,000 people attending. What has the impact of COVID-19 meant to you?
Oh, look, it's been substantial. I mean, clearly, gatherings are problematic. I think we're at the tail end of whatever's happening now. So, hopefully we can get back sooner than later. But unfortunately, with travel restrictions, border restrictions, with venue capacities being in place where they are, we've just run out of time to be able to put on our November conventions. And, I guess it won't be long now before we need to know whether things are being lifted for Sydney as well, because, it takes time to plan. We need, a couple of months to make sure that things get done right, that we can present a product that our fans, will love and appreciate, that our sponsors, our exhibitors, our artisans can come together and present something that the fans will love as well. And of course, for the fans, they want to prepare, they want to create costumes, they want to save up money for stuff that they can see and do and stars that they can meet. So, time is of the essence. And, we have unfortunately arrived at a point where we had to cancel those November conventions, much as we wanted to proceed with them, much as we know that there's I think, two polar opposites in society right now. There's the people that really just want to get back into it, and you can see them in shopping centres, cafes, restaurants, streets, everywhere at the beach. You can see that that's part of the population. And then there's the other ones who are still a little bit concerned, and they might have personal health issues and relatives that they need to be caring for, and have them in their thoughts as far as their interactions concerned. And they're a little bit more reserved as far as what they're willing to do right now. But I think, when you look around Australia and look how we've handled things, I think most of us are now ready to just get back to out of this abnormal back to our normal again.
Well, we hope you can get back on the road as soon as possible, as safely as possible as well, which I think is a priority. But look, with these conventions, you get some amazing names. Who has been your favorite big name celebrity to come to the convention?
Oh, goodness. It's making me choose between my babies now. Look, some personal highlights for me. One of them is Summer Glau, who's just behind me on that post. Sorry, that poster over there. So it's from Serenity. She's just amazing and so talented. I saw Serenity before I saw Firefly or any other Joss Whedon projects, actually. So that was for me a revelation. Stan Lee, of course, is just amazing, and he's passed away recently. And
Creator
just seeing his ability to interact with fans and just the snappiness of his wit, despite how old he was, and everything else was amazing, and his energy. Another personal favorite from back in 2001, which is Walt Simonson, because I'm a huge comic book fan, and that's Star Wars and comic books are what basically led me to doing what I do. So, that's, there's some personal favorites, but there's many, many more amongst that as well.
Well, Daniel, tell me, you spoke briefly earlier about the Sydney convention. That's still scheduled to go ahead in December. What's the likelihood of that happening, do you think? With the information and the knowledge that you have now, what's the likelihood of those doors opening?
Well, it's difficult because things can change any minute where the government's concerned, if they change their restrictions, if they change their ruling. So we've given ourselves a hard internal deadline that we're working towards. And, when we get to that day and there's no clear pathway forward, if the government hasn't said by X date, these are the rule changes, then we're going to pull the plug. Even if that's just a day after our hard deadline, we'll have already made the call, because we know how much time we need, as we said, to provide and the convention that we feel the fans expect, and that businesses that we work with, they expect a level of professionalism. There's going to be a lot of let's call it red tape compliance to make sure that we do it all in a COVID safe environment as well, which means there's a lot of planning that's required for that too. So we know that we need X amount of time, and when that deadline arrives, we'll be sharing with the public as well.
So Daniel, it's also so much more than, you know, kind of the bricks and mortar things that you've got to do where you're getting the products in and getting the sponsors in. You are also, you know, a massive part of Supanova, as we've talked about, are the guests that you can get. What would happen in that scenario for the Sydney convention? Would you still be getting guests, and who would you like them to be?
Yeah, look, the amazing thing about Australia is we have so many talented people right here. We already have a confirmed lineup of guests that we can initially roll out. We haven't
named
Daniel? Anyone yet.
Names?
We can't do it because the thing is, as much as I'd love to share those names and the fans would love to hear them too, it's better not to know than to be disappointed if we need to cancel. Yeah. And you know, we don't want to get fans' expectations up. Some of the keener fans might choose to like try and book accommodation or flights or something as well, and only to find out that we can't go ahead. And that's why we haven't put tickets on sale for the December convention either. We want to know that when we actually put tickets on sale, that it's going ahead. We don't want any false expectations. We don't want people, you know, spending any money that they don't have to on speculation. So we know that we've got great actors, we've got great talented comic book artists and writers, and speculative and fiction authors right around the country. The one thing that we might lack a little bit of as far as special guests are concerned are voice actors, because most voice actors who do the English language version are in the US. And of course, the original language is mostly Japanese for most of the stars as well for anime. So we know we won't be able to get, you know, international guests for that in. But aside from that, I think we've got a really lovely, healthy guest lineup that will take into consideration, and I'm sure the fans will as well, our limited ability to draw upon people. And you never know, if New Zealand comes back into the bubble soon enough, we might even be able to call in a couple of people from New Zealand too, depending on who's available there as well, depending on timelines. That's what we're aiming for. And as a worst case scenario, that's also what we're planning for in April, because if international travel is still restricted, you know, but we're hopeful that things will have relaxed substantially further by then. You know, we've got that's the plan for how to roll out an amazing convention in Gold Coast and Melbourne.
Well, Daniel, what I love about you is that you've had much bigger names than the ones you actually named as your favourite. So that's very telling. You don't just go for the big name. Supanova has been a fabulous event that has drawn huge names across the years. We think we should all support you in the December event, because what I can tell, you're an upstart man. You won't sell tickets before you know you can go ahead. You're not going to release names so that people don't get disappointed. You are actually, obviously, trying to do the right thing here in what is a very difficult situation. So we wish you the best of luck. Thank you for being on the Ben, Rob and Robbo show today.
Gentlemen, thank you so much as well for your support and your encouragement. You know, as an industry, it's driven by passion, and your passion for what you do is clear as well. Thanks very much.
It's the Ben, Rob and Robbo, Ben, Rob and Robbo, Ben, Rob and Robbo.